film that actually came out in December of last year in Canada. This is a Canadian-based science fiction movie, and I think it just started recently circulating in the States. It just came out on Netflix. I got to see it a few nights ago, and so I wanted to share my thoughts on it, seeing as how, you know, I like reviewing shit, so why not, right? It's a film that stars Robbie and Stephen Amell. You might recognize them from the Arrowverse. Obviously, Stephen Amell played Green Arrow for almost 10 years on the CW. Robbie Amell, if you don't remember, used to play a character named Firestorm on that show. So what this movie is it's a super-powered superhero kind of movie, but not really. You see, it exists in this world where there are people that are born with superpowers, different classes of superpowers. Instead of everybody, you know, becoming superheroes and stuff like that, it's a much more gritty, grounded take on what would happen if superpowers existed in our world or in the future. People with superpowers are separated, they're registered, they're regulated, and they're hunted and they're discriminated against. So the story follows Robbie Amell. He plays a character who has electric-based superpowers, and he and his mom are living and they're trying to survive day to day. He works as a laborer. His mom is dealing with some kind of illness that is taking her powers and turning it against her, and as a result, she is slowly dying. He's desperate to do anything to get more money so that he can treat her, so that he can find a way to fix her, and so he gets recruited by Stephen Amell's character, who runs a crew of other superpowered people. They work for some drug lord, and he recruits Robbie Amell's character so that they can go around and pull off these odd jobs so that they can get a whole bunch of money. I gotta say, I saw this trailer and I was kind of like, you know what, that trailer doesn't look half bad. It looks kind of interesting. I want to check it out. It could be pretty good. So I checked the movie out, and I gotta say, the movie's actually not that bad. It's decent. It's pretty good. One of the things I like about this movie is I like the concept. I like the ideas that are presented here. Obviously, we've seen different elements of a story like this in the past in different sci-fi movies and different sci-fi TV series and stuff like that. Hell, you can go to the comic books. A lot of the elements that are prevalent in this story feel very similar to the X-Men. People being judged, people being regulated and registered because they're different. The different avenues of criminal life and middle class and upper middle class or whatever that those powers would afford you. Like, I like the world that was created here in this movie, and I like certain ideas that certainly you've seen before, but I like the way that they're presented here. I also think that the performances in the movie were pretty decent. I am not gonna sit here and try to act like I think Stephen Amell or Robbie Amell are great actors, because I don't. I think they're fine. I think they're okay for the CW, basically. Whatever you want to say about Arrow, the quality of the show, the quality of all the other shows in the CW, you can't deny that Stephen Amell held it down for a long time as Green Arrow. I won't necessarily say that he nailed his target in this movie. Okay, you know what? Yep, that was a corny setup. I was trying to lead you guys there. I'm pretty sure you're not going to go there with me, so let's stay away from Arrow-related puns for the rest of this video. Stephen Amell was solid, if not spectacular. Same thing goes for Robbie Amell. One thing I do appreciate is that they did a good job at setting up the relationship between Robbie Amell's character and his mom. Like, that is the one emotional arc in the movie that does make the most sense and is the most fleshed out, and you do feel the most invested in that aspect of this story. I don't think this movie had a big budget or anything, but I do think that they made the best of it. They made the most of it with their budget, which is honestly all you can do. Sometimes when you're given lemons, you gotta make lemonade. You've heard that phrase. When you're given goodies, you gotta make an OnlyFans. Like, that's the way the world works, all right? You take what you get and you try to make it into whatever you can, and you try to make that work for as long as you can. And that's what they did with this movie in regards to the production design and the set design, the cinematography, all of that stuff. Unfortunately, when I left this movie, I left wanting a little bit more. I think it's a movie that's like an hour and 35-ish minutes, maybe just an hour and a half, and I feel like it needed a little bit more time to tell this story. I think that this movie was based off of a short film that came out in 2016 that has the same name, and I get it, it's based off a short film. It doesn't have to be an extra long movie, but I feel like there was just a lot more story, a lot more lore, a lot more world building to lay out in this movie, and I feel like this movie kind of skipped steps just to get to the ending because they didn't want the movie to be that long. Characterization and dialogue, I do think that the script could have used another rewrite. I definitely think that they dropped the ball in some areas on that end. Characterization overall in the movie is pretty inconsistent, even for Stephen Amell's character. Stephen Amell is doing his best tough guy impression, but it's like, it's not enough. Like, you don't really get into these characters the way that you want. By the time we get to the ending of the movie, like the third act or the third half of the movie or whatever, there are some leaps in logic within the rules that are set up within this world that definitely start to turn me off, where I'm like, some of it is kind of like, okay, did you guys forget the rules that were established in your own movie? Call them plot holes if you want. I don't really like using the term plot holes, but definitely there are some things towards the end where I'm just kind of like, wait, no, this doesn't make, wait, are there scenes missing? That doesn't make sense, but hey, Budget, whatever you guys had to do, right? Green Arrow and Firestorm held it down in this movie. I thought it was a decent watch. I like the world and the lore that was set up. I heard there's a spin-off series that's coming out soon, or that's in development or whatever. I'd be interested in seeing that, honestly. Code 8 was a solid movie, a decent watch. I'm gonna leave this one in the slightly above average part of my channel. Golden Age for Man of Steel. Tell me, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Give me your thoughts on the movie and the review in the comment section down below. Stay tuned for more videos. Please like and subscribe to the Superfan Show. And as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.